Good evening, and welcome to Damage Does D&D. Tonight we are back with the investigators, investigating things. Obviously, DM Martin, over to you.
So, last week we finished a fight in the Drow city. Made a new friend, ran through walls of fire. Normal stuff. It was a pretty close fight in the end, but made it out physically unscathed. Permanently. There does seem to be some lingering issue between the two paladins of the group, but we'll pick up with that shortly. Once you escaped with the help of Dasaru, gaining you exit from the city, you made your way to the wastelands that is the surface of Hanumo Island, and you quickly found a cliff face to the east where there's a few nice little coves to get a rest. And we've settled down for the evening, ready to have a rest in the safety of this cave. So watches we get to be decided, but that's where we pick up. And
Cool.
over to you.
Right. So, I thought we decided the watches were going to be Bernia and Salviel's first watch, but I could be wrong.
I think that's what Bernia wanted, but whether
Yeah.
or not that actually was the decision, I don't
That's
know.
what Bernie would like for conversation.
Yeah, no, let's just continue with that for expediency of, well, not exactly plot, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So Mazdak
The
will
plot demands it.
curl up.
Plot for the blood gods. Jinx.
I'll
For their throne.
I'll assume on his behalf that Thaddeus will cast non-detection again, cover Amarius through the
I think
night.
I was going to go into the...
Yeah, he was going into the ring because Thaddeus didn't have spell slots for it.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I
in
was
the morning.
leaving it to the last minute.
Good to know.
Yeah,
So
Mazdak
if
will
everyone-
go to sleep.
Okay, so we're left with the two paladin ladies.
He sat contemplating a broken sword in the most, telltale sign of you're gonna get the stories tonight vibe. Zariel, been thinking on what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I am not your captain. I'm nobody's captain now. You're right, you should not listen to me. Because hundreds of soldiers under my command have died. I've seen so many of them die, I lost track of the number, lost track of the names. So, leave me to my own foolish maneuvers, if you will. I only ask that you respect my wishes for peace to be the solution.
This is not a situation in which it gets to me my wizarders that will decide the solution. I will do as Leo Sol instructs me to do. And if he instructs me to act with violence to solve all this, that is what I'll do. But I do have to say, I am very surprised at a warrior of your caliber resorting to self-pity because they were challenged.
I spent 6 months wallowing in my own misery upon losing my arm. I am prone to let myself waste.
See, I think you're very much needed to keep this rabble in check because that is a job I certainly don't want. So, in terms of being in charge, you're welcome to order them around. I just wanted to clear with you that for my orders, my loyalty is to one person only. And if those orders ever contradict yours, I will have no hesitation following them.
That is certainly a way to approach faith. I do not think I agree with it, but our gods are different. I find treating fate as unquestionable to be odd.
I didn't say fate was unquestionable. I have my discussions with Leo Soul, and we have had our disagreements. All I'm saying is that if I'm asked to do something, I'll do it.
But you do not consider your actions as you do them.
It varies. If I thought she was that wrong, I'd contest it with her. But I'll take out a coin from my pack and flick into the air as we're talking. She's always present. She's always answering me. What you think is a conversation that could take days is something that can be resolved in seconds between us.
Perhaps you are lucky, then.
It helps when one follows the god of fortune and misfortune.
Unfortunately, for myself, this place is almost devoid of her touch, Nagale.
I understand it's hard with the world as disrupted as it is. I can't speak to Leo Soul as often as I would like, and often have to act on the last order I was issued until she's able to speak to me again. And that's where the fate comes in. To trust that you're still following in the path that they intended. Which is why I don't think it benefits you any to doubt yourself as a leader or to doubt yourself a leader of this group.
I think I will continue to doubt myself until I stop seeing the faces when I close my eyes.
Oh, by all means, doubt yourself in private, just not when you're giving orders to the slot.
Perhaps I will have to be firmer, then.
It might not hurt. We might possibly get less arguments, although that might be hoping for miracles.
Yes, it is interesting to watch as Sasha and Amarius seem to be dancing around each other, goading each other into something.
It feels less like dancing to me and more straight on drawing arrows at each other. They just haven't loosed them yet.
It is like holding the handle of a dagger, but under your cloak. You're poised to attack, but do not wish them to know.
Yes, I think that's closer to what each of them they're doing, and they're just waiting for the right moment.
Perhaps I should treat all of this as my task. Something to focus on.
You come to before. Sorry.
If I cannot bring these people to at least an audience with Renee, then I am not fit enough to be Nagale's champion in any way.
Nagale is god of nature and such, yes?
Nature, life, cycles, growth.
Cycles. So much like any garden will die back in the winter.
Indeed.
So could your questioning not be part of her intention? It's not for us to presume if we are the right fit or not. The gods know far more than we do.
That is true. It is very true. You would think me for my age to be wiser, but
No, as you mentioned before, we both came to fate our own ways.
very much.
I've known Leo Soul since I've been very young, and I've had a long time to develop my relationship with her and trust her. So what seems to you as a rash decision to me is a lifelong devotion. Whereas you, this whole process is very new.
Yes. Less than a year. I first heard her voice when I fled that battle. So
You haven't really had time then to settle into what the nature of your relationship will be.
I do find times Meglin are spending time in nature, but with everything that is happening, I have to move fast and learn fast. And it is something I cannot do. I appreciate your counsel, Zalviel.
I appreciate your company.
We should be vigilant. Anything could find us.
Of course.
Is that a prompt for perception checks?
Yeah. That's a prompt for.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of more ways to extend this conversation, but none of them make sense. So
The perception checks as the paladins have this lovely heart-to-heart, and then suddenly there's this just T-Rex mouth looming over the mouth of the cave.
Whoa.
But that was a natural. No, that was not a natural anything. No, that was a natural 20 for 24. So
we both just nat 20 then.
Wow. Woof.
our gods are with us.
We
Fuck
really
you.
didn't want to continue that conversation.
It had kind of wrapped up, in fairness.
Yeah.
That was really good though. I like that interaction between you two. So as the that pause sort of lingers between you at the end of this conversation, both sort of thinking, and then you sort of turn to have a look out. There are weird noises you can hear in the distance. Sort of squeaking, barking, just odd, weird creatures are out there. Nothing too close, nothing posing any imminent danger. And nothing
Still
that,
quite tense, though.
but certainly, yeah. If you are in the woods and you hear wolves howling,
You're already fucked.
it doesn't matter how distant those howls may be, it's still going to unsettle
It's still extra terrifying if you've had a history of being mauled by wolves.
you. But yeah, there as you sit listening out to these odd sounds in the silence between you. But if there's nothing more to be discussed between the two of you for now, we can move on to the next watch, and you can elect who you're waking.
I mean, sure, if we have like put a little bit of effort in, we can have like another argument that will lead to another heart and heart. But seems enough to have one of them per session. At the most.
Yeah. We'll save the. Okay, let's reverse the situation. So you'll hold to faith, but you're new to military stuff, and that's my bag. And
Fair.
I think who do we wake up?
Thaddeus is there if you want to wake him.
I will wake Kral. If Kral doesn't mind.
That's fine.
I will wake Sasha. I think.
Samuela, as you go to wake Kral, you notice, or you will have noticed already before that, but he's sort of very unsettled, lots of tossing and turning. He hasn't slept well up to this point. But you can wake him up, and Bernia goes against Sasha. So Kral and Sasha.
He's going to settle in near the sort of cave entrance, and he'll have a pair of books out. One with his notes from the repairs made to the braces, and he's got a separate notebook out, trying to work out exactly how he's going to do what Thaddeus has asked of him.
May I ask what you're doing?
Just working on a few ideas, one for me, and Mr. Thaddeus there is give me some food for thought, and someone else which may be able to help with.
I don't pretend to know much about magic, but if there's any way I can be of assistance, please let me know.
Well, with this, I don't think you can. And he'll go sort of briefly into basically give like a layman's tour of magical conduction, and how the sort of the gloves that Amarius has got work, and the idea that Thaddeus had to essentially apply the same principle to his spell that he uses to protect Mazdak. And with the right materials, I believe that I can make it happen, but he needs to do the work with the magic.
So it's like charging the object with the desired spell.
Put
until it
simply,
is
yeah.
fixed.
He's gonna have
Okay.
to bathe them with abjuration magic, but specifically constructed in the way that his spell is constructed. And if he does it enough times, it should charge the items up and allow them to conduct that spell without him having to cast it at all.
Well, Mazdak does need all the protection he can get. He is quite a
well,
delicate
You're asleep.
gentleman.
Mazdak might be a bit frail, but I think that out of all of us, he's probably the one that's been the least injured on this journey.
That's because I think we're all looking out for him. in some
I-
regard, but yes.
I think it's probably got quite a bit to do with the fact that Mazdak knows how to handle himself. Maybe he's not as strong or as weathered, shall we say, as the rest of us, but he's stronger than what people give him credit for. And he knows a thing or two, knows his way around his magic, and he'll keep himself out of trouble.
Oh,
I know he'll
Goodness,
never
yes,
be
when it comes to magic, I don't know if there's anybody who knows more about it than Mazdak, but
Yeah, well, and my other idea is, well, I think that with the right tools, I can miniaturize the arcane cannon into a handheld version for me.
okay.
But whether I should or not is a different question.
I think that is a question that some wizards should have been asking themselves for a long time now. But
Well, we've already proved that my judgment's suspect, and it's more a case of, not a case of whether I can. I know I can do it. It's more a case of if I should.
you weren't to know what was going to happen.
I should have known better. I did it out of vindictive spite. I didn't do it out of logic. I didn't do it out of any other notion other than he said keep it away from the lava. So I put it in there because I wanted to see what would happen.
Marius has a habit of bringing those kinds of reactions out of people.
Yeah, well, I should know better. I was raised better.
Still, half of what comes out of his mouth tends to be a lie. Or some twisted version of the truth.
Well, there ain't not a one person in this group that hasn't got their secrets. And there ain't not a one of them that hasn't bent the truth about something or other.
I'm not saying we're not entitled to our secrets, but when those secrets put in danger everybody else that you're with, it's a little bit more...
And this may get a different reaction from other people, but I think Thaddeus should cease casting that spell on him. I don't know, I've just got a feeling that it's a waste of time, waste of effort, waste of his magic each day, something that we can put to better use. Sooner or later, we're going to have to confront this thing, and we're going to have to deal with it. The longer we leave it, the more powerful it gets.
Who knows what it's doing in the meantime?
Well, yeah, exactly. And who else is going to pay for the mistakes me and him have made?
Now this one is nowhere near your fault.
Well, that's where we're going to disagree, darling. What I did was as bad and worse than Severill. He did it because he was trying to stop something. He did it where it came from for him was from a place of good intentions that went wrong. I did it from a place of vindictive spite that makes me worse than him.
Maybe if Marius had been upfront about the whole thing to begin with, we wouldn't have got into this mess in the first place. But it's not something we can dwell on anymore. It's happened, and unfortunately it's something we're going to have to deal with, and it will stick with you because you're a good person, Carl.
Again, I would have to disagree with you, darling, but it's nice of you to say.
The fact that you still care about it shows that you are.
The only reason I'm still with you all is because this is a job that I signed up for. If we hadn't got anything else to do, I would have gone back and I would have been in the custody of the giants. Whether that be for indenture to clean up or outright execution from our idiocy.
Yes,
Bottom.
but with what's going on in this world now, if we don't stop it, then worse will happen than what happened at that mountain.
Which is why I'm still here. But I need to get on, but
Do what you need to do. But don't carry it all. I'm strong, I can carry some.
this is mine to carry, nobody else's.
Disagree with you there, darling.
And he will sort of delve back into the books and continue to make notes, sort of pick out the bits where he can sort of copy the effect almost from the gloves to the rings.
Just do a quick intelligence check for me,
Okay, cool.
just to sort of see how you're.
Perception was 13. Intelligence 22.
Okay. Yeah, you're starting to piece together the idea. Having worked on the braces really helps to align your thinking on this particular challenge. You certainly think that it's possible, and you're making a list of the resources that you need when you get to a shop. And your perception was 13.
Yeah.
Did you say okay? Did you make one, Sasha?
10.
10. Okay. You can hear vague noises, but you wouldn't be able to tell what they were. Yeah, just an odd background noise.
We just sort of sit. We're in a cave, right?
Yeah, it's kind of an opening in a cliff face that goes some way back.
Sit closer to the entrance while I'm on watch.
But your time on watch passes. Well, a few hours pass at least, and you can go and get up the remaining pair, which would be Mazdak and Thaddeus.
Yeah, and I'll sort of leave Hez and Scafflock on watch as well, with them, up on little perches within the rock.
Yeah. Actually, as I see 3-hour watches, so it's a total of 9 hours, but you each get 6 hours of sleep in that time. That feels enough. Just about enough sleep. Certainly what I live on.
Yeah, same.
So that means that Marius will be present for the final watch, as his 6 hours in his space comes to an end.
Fair enough. I'll sort of pop out of the ring. Probably like semi-recumbent.
So, Imarius, when you vanish and reappear, what does it feel like? Is there a kind of rushing noise, or is it like when we teleport somewhere?
I've literally been here 1 second and you've asked me a question.
Well, it's information. I'm just trying to find out what it is. It something akin to travelling across vast distances like we use with the teleports, or is it something different?
Something different.
Something different. Oh, excellent. And how does it differ?
Well, I don't really need to think about it. It's not like a...
No, but when it happens, is there a feeling that you get, or is it a sort of is it instant? Does it take a second or two, or does it take is there a sort of brief moment where you are neither in one place or the other?
I feel cold. Does that help?
Cold. Interesting. So does it feel cold every time, or just sometimes? Does it depend on where you are in the physical world?
Yes.
Excellent. So it depends on where you are in the physical world. That's fantastic. So, for instance, if you were somewhere very, very hot, you would go and you would feel hot in that travel moment. Is that correct?
Potentially.
Excellent.
Does this have a point, or just?
Yes. There's always a point.
Do you want to get to it? Because
I'm
I've
learning.
just woken up.
I'm learning. This is.
Do I need to be here while you're learning?
Yes, because you know the information that I'm trying to learn. So that's how information transfer works, you see. I ask you a question, you tell me an answer. So then I write it down, note it, and evaluate. And then
Okay.
I will theorize what could be happening when you transfer into a different realm. Could you presumably
Before you go on, I'm going to teach you one thing, like transfer of knowledge, of course.
Of course.
I'm going to teach you about limits and boundaries. Okay.
I don't
You have
think there are
two
any limits
questions.
and boundaries to information.
You have two more questions.
Excellent. Okay, question one. When you transfer, I'm presuming, does all your equipment and clothing, etc., go with you?
Oh no, I'm fully naked when I get in there.
So what happens to all of those items? Because if those items then cease to exist in the normal realm, and they're not in your realm that you go to, then this begs the question, could you take a physical being with you?
Don't know. Maybe we'll have to try one day.
Excellent.
And that is question number 2.
Right, so your turn. This is a knowledge transfer. You could ask me 2 questions if you wish, or more.
What is your favourite colour?
That's very difficult. See, colours are subjective, obviously, and it's a personal preference rather than a better colour is blue better than green, for example.
Remember
It's
what I said about
probably not.
limits and boundaries, okay?
Yes, you are asking me a question. I am trying to answer your question, so in a way
I would
that
like
will
to
give you
rephrase
knowledge
the
that
question.
you crave. Oh, okay.
With a limit and a boundary. What is your favourite colour using one word?
Well, I'm not sure I can pick.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
I mean, I like yellow.
One
That's nice.
word.
I like.
Yellow. Brilliant.
Red.
Yellow.
I also like green, but not as much as you'd think you would, though, because green, although a common colour, is not really a sort of. Well, I know it's
Why
a
don't you go
colour.
and think about it and come back to me with an answer?
Okay, what's your second question?
No, that was the second question.
That was the first question.
First question, and then it was rephrased.
Yes,
I need
that's
to go
still
and
the first question.
I need to find Thaddeus anyway. I've just woken up and I need a.
I
boon.
believe Thaddeus has actually exploded.
He's not. He's over there.
Yes, and over there, and over there, and over there. It was an interesting explosion, but it was fun. I'm only doing that because Fitty's just joined the conversation.
Welcome, Fiddy.
Hi,
You finally
Fiddy.
managed to navigate the trains.
I am so sorry. I didn't change my chain destinations around, so it went from North Walsham to Hovton instead of Hovton to North Walsham and got the times completely wrong.
Oops.
Good work, Fiddy.
Well done.
Innocent mistake. Not to worry though. We've just been through the first 2 watches. It's now the third. You're up. Or you're awake with Mazdak and Imarius.
Yeah, so first thing I would do is... oh, no, I can't do it.
Well,
Can I
I'll
do
go,
it?
I'll
Because
go
I-
over to Thaddeus and say, you need to keep an eye on Mazdak, and you need to do whatever you do to me, so I can just go and keep watch.
Are you classing as that our last watch we've had a long rest already?
Yeah, you can add your long rest. You've slept for 6 hours straight, so
Okay, I only asked that because if you didn't, I could not do my boon, as Amarius put it.
I think it's reasonable to assume you've completed a long rest on
Yeah.
on watch 3.
So yeah, I'll Amarius and put a hand on his shoulder and cast non-detection on him.
Thank you. I think Mazdak has a few questions for you. I'm going to go and keep a lookout. I'll just do a perimeter scout. Anything to get away from Mazdak.
Sure. Make a perception check while you're having a look around, if you're actually looking.
Sort of half-assed looking around. Not really. But that's pretty good. 21.
Yeah.
Parker's
you
doing a half-hour look. Stop your disadvantage.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll
you
do disadvantage.
roll it a second time.
Oh, that's more like it. 11.
Yeah. No, there are vague noises in the background, but it's kind of whatever.
If something happens, someone else will deal with it.
But Amarius, you might get eaten by the time someone responds to your screams for help.
Cross that bridge when we get to it.
Mazdak, Mara said you may have had a few questions or wanted a word.
No, I was asking Amarius about his the transfer of when he pops into this other space that he has to try and work out what it is he's actually doing. Is he plane shifting, or is he popping into a different realm, or is it just simply he ceases to exist in this sphere and is just nowhere, or is it like a pocket dimension? I was trying to work that out, but he is, as ever, resistant to any kind of knowledge whatsoever being passed from anybody to anybody else, and he seems to think that an appropriate question for a wizard is, what is your favourite colour? He has a very simple mind, I think, and I think we should probably start. Well, oh no!
Sorry,
I said,
ignore that.
I said it was a simple mind, and
Yeah,
then it went
boom.
off. So maybe we should be. Putting things
It'd be
in-
better for you next time if you could play Simple Minds.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
yes,
perhaps we should
very-
be shortening our sentences and questions for him, as he's not very clever. This is perhaps a thing we should do. I think we should.
I don't think it's the fact he's not very clever. It's just that he doesn't want to pass with any information of what he knows.
Indeed, but he doesn't seem to grasp the importance of the situation. If we can understand where he goes and he is safe in that place, then theoretically what we could do is try to craft a spell to take more of us into a safe space.
Yes, no, completely.
So-
I would think that if it was a pocket dimension he is going
Well,
into,
quite.
then it'd be fairly easy to not be found in one of those.
Yes, indeed. So I don't understand his resistance to being safe. He obviously is a feeble of mind. So
Yes, he's very nonchalant about the whole situation, isn't he?
yes, he doesn't seem to grasp any sort of implication of anything he does.
Although, if you look at him now, he is actually, without any suggestion, keeping a semi-watch out on the camp, which,
I
when I first
suspect
met,
he's-
he didn't want to.
Probably just trying to get away from me.
And that's another thing I don't understand. Why did some of this party want to get away from you? You've
don't-
got the knowledge and...
To be honest, I don't know. I think possibly because they're not intelligent enough to understand why I'm asking questions and seeking knowledge.
Yes, that is a shame when people are like that, but maybe we can change the party
Well,
around one by one.
I'm a firm believer if you just keep talking to someone, they will eventually understand. You will find common ground and be able to explain and make their lives better through knowledge.
Well, I'll stand behind you on that and I'll help you whenever I can.
That's
Definitely.
very kind of you.
And I'm pretty sure that I've come across references of spells, like you were talking about before. Of
Oh yes, there are
references of
spells such as I think it was the great magic user Leomund. I think could craft a hut, a sort of dome bubble-like place that you could go into, and you could keep other people out, but only let in various people. There is, of course, the marvelous mansion where you could
Yes.
build, but I don't think I'm quite there yet, as far as of the knowledge to craft those spells yet. But
Yes, well,
if I could understand
there.
what he does, then maybe that would help me in understanding those spells, and we could create something new, something that could perhaps take us to a different realm safely, and then bring us back automatically, because it does seem to happen automatically when he comes back.
it's a bit weird because you talked about this ring he had the last time, where he would disappear into it, which that for me would be the spell of some pocket dimension is
Yes,
cast on that
yes,
for him to
yes.
go into. But he appears to not have any jewelry on his
No,
fingers.
well, that was because the ring was dropped into the lava, if you recall.
Yes.
and, you know, the subsequent explosion and or fire demon thing coming after us. But I think what's happened is with his new patron, she has given him a different way to traverse realms, planes. I'm not sure which one yet.
The only yes, I'm not entirely up to date with planal spells. The only one I have is where I can banish someone, so I'm not.
Well, yes, is that a form of banishment? Is Amanita casting banishment on Imarius, and then he comes back when that spell ends? Now, banishment is not normally a long spell like that, but who's to say that Amanita is quite a powerful witch, so therefore she could have learned to lengthen that spell over time.
So we need to find out whether Amarius is actually asking, can he go to that place before it
Yes,
happens, or
indeed.
whether it's just a thought he has and then it just happens as such.
Exactly. I will I'll be right back. I'll get up and I'll walk to Amarius. Amarius, when you decide to go to your realm of whatever it is you go to, are you actually asking to be transported there? Is this a thing that just happens, or do you call out to Amanita or whoever, and woof, you are transported there?
Have you had a long rest? I believe you've had your 2 questions for today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. When you
I'll
are
give you...
tired,
Why are you talking slowly?
and so you can understand better. So when you are tired and you want to go to sleep, and Mazdak will actually go to sleep, do you call to your patron to bring you to a place of safety where you can relax and take your long rest? Or does it happen all at once? So, automatic. Oh, that's a long word. Just like the click of a finger, does it happen like that? Or do you have to ask? Oh, I've broken him.
No, I'm just debating whether to do something or not.
That he is.
Mazdak, no, I think you.
I think I've broken Amarius.
I'm going to cast Charm Person on Mazdak and Thaddeus.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I think I can do that.
You probably can as a warlock spell. It would be upcast automatically.
Yeah, so I can do 3 additional targets, but...
Yeah.
So I'll do it twice on Mazdak. No. So they need to make wisdom saves.
Oh, wisdom. Ooh, thank you.
Against 2 magic users, yeah, it's going to go well.
Would they get the paladin's auras because we're in quite a little
I was-
confined space?
I was wondering if anyone was going to. No.
I'm not entirely sure I need it. I got 19.
Yeah, so
Wisdom, you say?
hmm
Wisdom save is 23. I rolled an 18
Okay.
on the dice.
Okay, you both succeed.
We don't know that's happened though, do
No,
we?
not for charm person. You do for
No.
friends, I think. but not-
Yeah.
as I did
But
check.
is it a verbal or somatic?
It is both.
Counterspell.
So you might be able to recognise. Oh, okay.
Oh, the counter spell him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's casting a spell at me. I'm
yeah.
a frail wizard. He casts a spell at me. I will instantly counterspell it.
What
But
are you
it-
doing, Mazdak?
It would have been cast at level 4, although we'll just say it counters, because even if it doesn't counter, you still both passed anyway.
Amarius, I don't wish to be rude, but if you ever try to cast a spell on me again, things will go very badly for you.
Well, I was going to show you into the ring, but I can't now because you've used half my power. But
And half your power is one spell. Do I recognise the words in that spell? Do I know what he was casting?
Ooh, make a history check.
Would I know as well from being?
History.
Okay. I don't have charm person, but I have suggestion and bits like that. So
Well, I'm thinking more that Marius had walked away from the conversation and then Masnak went to him to talk, and whether you're close enough to act.
to actually, yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah. So we'll just let Masnak have a go.
What's that? 11? Sorry, history check. 18.
Yeah, you've read about Charm Person, fairly common spell.
Yeah, that's charm person. That spell.
it is.
Yes.
Yes.
So
caught me out.
how would that transport me to a different dimension or plane or realm?
I didn't. Well. It tried.
And
I
how
was
would
hoping
that
to
have
use
helped with me
it.
seeing this? Charm person
If you
is
let
a
me
control
answer
spell.
your question,
No, it's very rude to cast charm
I-
person on one of your party. Now,
I was going to
I am-
transport you to a
really,
different destination.
using charm person.
Yes.
No,
I was
that's
going
not how
to-
that spell works.
I didn't say a different dimension. I was just going to tell you to go away, and that's transporting you to a different place.
Right, I see.
You do realise, Amaris, that both I and Mazdak are trying to help your situation here.
I don't
so-
need any help. We'll be fine.
Okay.
We keep.
Then,
Oh.
if you don't need any help, then maybe Thaddeus should not use his spells to help you.
Well,
Oh, right, I see. Okay, so Imarius does not wish to be helped, so we should not help him.
you said that, not me.
Absolutely, I did. Eldritch Blast.
Counter spell. No, I don't have counter spell. What do I have?
Eldritch Blast is... That's a 16 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would it be a disadvantage because you're in melee range with him?
Mazdak would know that and step back, but I'll do a disadvantage if DM if you want me to.
I don't know. I'm not head keeping track of people's exact locations.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy to side with Mastak that he'd know.
Okay, so
And
that's
just-
Just asking the question.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is 7 points of force damage.
Hellish rebuke.
Sure.
Are the rest of us sleeping through this, or
Probably not.
Yeah, that's the question.
Were you firing both blasts, Mazdak?
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, okay. That's 17 to hit.
Yeah.
That's slightly more damage. That's 10 damage this time. force damage.
17 total. Yeah, so I'll do Hellish Rebuke back on being attacked. Unprovoked.
Okay. What?
Oh,
no.
Go for that.
Yeah.
Muted both times. I was going to say I step in the middle of them. After Mazdak does his.
Well, mine's a reaction, so.
Yeah, the Hellish Rebuke is going off.
Yep.
Says deck save.
A dex save. Not very good at those. Okay, dex
And you
save.
take 8d Mazdak's damage.
12. So I'm guessing I fail.
You do fail.
Potentially. Good one, shot man.
This could kill you,
This-
actually.
Yeah.
Could kill him outright.
No, it couldn't.
It's only 2d10, I think.
Depending on what I'm currently
It
on.
depends on if you're doing it with your tiefling ability or if you're doing it with the warlock spell slot.
Well, it's
No,
different.
it's just tiefling.
Your Tiefling ability's static at one spell level. The Warlock one would scale with your spell slot level.
Okay, so just 2d10. So that's
That seems a lot for Hellish Rebuke, but okay.
Well, I'm seeing Hellish
Rebuke.
Rebuke at second level on your character sheet.
Yeah, creature must make a dex save. It takes 2d10 fire damage on a fail save or half. Higher levels, it's an additional 1d10 plus each level.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's constant second level because it's
Yeah,
tiefling,
no, it's fine.
so it's 3d10 damage.
Oh, 3d10. Shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
How
can
much
buy
is a
it.
Mazdak at the moment?
17.
Yeah, how much?
17.
Okay, it can't straight up kill you.
Not quite.
But
Close
You
though.
can one shot.
can KO you.
I feel like I should do this on.
No, you do it whenever you want to do it.
It's 5,
5.
so it's 17.
5? How much?
That was the last dice was a 5. Sorry, 12 and then plus 5, so it's a 17 on
Oh,
that.
God.
16. Okay, down.
Okay, so instantly, if I can interject with all of this going on.
Correction. Sorry, Mazdak is fire resistant.
Oh yeah, of course I am. So yeah, that'd be half of that.
Fuck for that.
For that.
So I would interject anyway, and I would step in between them both. Depending on how we were camped pretty close together, weren't we? Because of,
Oh, yeah.
of the area we're in, I would, with one of my feet, I would kick dirt or whatever's around us towards Bernia to try and wake them up if they're not already.
I was about to say Bernia might wake up. She's not sleeping heavily at the moment.
So you would definitely feel dirt being kicked at you, and at the same time look at both
Before
Mazdak
you kick the dirt at me.
and Amarius and be like, "Will you? I've had enough of this. I've been through enough of this, fighting between factions, friends, and everything for a long time. Stop it,
He started.
What
please."
is going on? Where is the enemy?
Between
there.
us, Bernia.
Mazdak attacked me.
Amarius tried to attack me. He cast Charm Person at me, which is very rude. So I counterspelled it, and then I Eldritch Blasted him, which he then responded to with something that I don't know what that was, but fire damage.
Anyway, what are we doing today?
Killing you.
But harsh.
Well, I perceive you as a threat now.
Okay.
Both of you stop talking.
I'm sorry.
Mazdak might find that difficult.
Yes, well, understanding that order may cause problems in Amarius'
Thaddeus,
mind.
what occurred?
We were talking, trying to figure out where Amarius goes when he goes to his special place. It seemed like Amarius had had enough of answering questions or talking and tried to charm both me and Mazdak, and then Mazdak responded with his Eldritch Blast, to which then Amarius reacted with something. I'm not entirely sure what the spell is called. And obviously caused quite a ruffle within this group.
Okay. First of all, Amarius, we do not use these charm magics on our allies. It is reprehensible. You're trying to get your way. You need
Yes.
to start cooperating. You may not enjoy being the center of Mazdak's attention when he is talking and trying to figure things out. But there are better ways to do that instead of using magic. Mazdak, it is not appropriate to attack your ally, even if he does cast a spell. I have seen counter magic from you. That would be a
Indeed,
wiser choice.
I did counter it.
Good.
But what
You
if
should
I
have
didn't
stopped.
have counterspell available? We were only trying to determine where he goes, so we could try to craft a spell to save some of Thaddeus's magic every day, to try and make a safe space, so that Amarius and the rest of us could go in there to negate the threat or threats that we are currently under. But Amarius does not want to be helped. He told us as much. So I posited that he should not be helped anymore by us.
I would just like to add that I'm not really a morning person, and I'd just woken up and I had questions, like, straight away.
Questions
my
that were
defense,
trying to assist
excuse-
you.
Still does not excuse using magic in that way.
Well,
Either
it's
of
done.
you.
He said he's sorry, let's move on.
No, he didn't
Have you
say he was
apologized?
sorry. Absolutely not.
Amarius,
Yes.
have you?
Yes.
No, he has not.
Sorry. Who made you leader anyway?
All of you squabbling like children constantly. Amarius, I want you to consider and take stock of the situation you are in, the location we are in, and the monster that hunts you. And consider your actions carefully. Mazdak, we have talked about shooting your magic whenever you panic. You need to use your mind, take things slower, and consider your situation. Blasting at Amarius does not make your situation better.
Well, it would have done if he died.
No, it would not.
Well, yes, it would, because then there would be no more threat to me. And I have to say, I consider him a threat to me.
We are currently camped on Hanumo Island.
Yes, it's exciting.
A location known for aberrant monsters, led by their queen Renee, who we are trying to meet. And you two are squabbling and fighting like children.
Well, shall we get a move on then? I'm ready.
We'll take stock. We'll let everybody else wake up, if they haven't already. And Amarius, let's me and you just take a short walk from the campment and calm the situation down a bit.
That's perfectly calm.
Come on.
Amarius, go with that, yes.
And I won't touch him or anything, but I will kind of like the whole gesture of, let's just move this way a little bit.
And you'll just hear a short whistle from Kral as he looks up at Scathlock and Kez, and he just goes. And the both of them will sort of follow.
Am I still snoring?
I was about to ask, and I assume the ruckus has woken the rest of us up.
probably.
I will let everyone decide that individually.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been sleeping very well at all anyway, so the slightest
No,
noise would have woken
That
me up.
makes sense that you would wake up.
I'll roll a perception. If it's over 10, I'll wake up.
Sure.
No, I'm still.
So,
Apparently, I also
Neither
don't give
do
a
I.
fuck.
so what the others will see is I'll just go sort of like 20 or 30 foot away from where the camp is, still being fairly safe to where we are, to where we've made it.
And he kills me.
Yep.
No,
Slits your throat and
Um,
leaves.
and we'll just look to Amarius and be, look, you are from what I gather, different time from all of us. You've lived your life differently and come back to what to you may seem very trivial in the way magic is used or how things are done. It takes quite a lot for me to cast that spell on you, especially when it's 2 to 3 times a day. And I do that for you and for us as well as a group to keep us safe. And the way I look at it is that if you die, that thing is left to rain terror anywhere in our time on this world. When it has you in its sights, at least when it can't find you, it's doing everything it can to find you. So we still have it on the up. Just take stock of the situation. What is going on, Amaris, please. I've fought in wars and one pretty big war recently. And I would not like to have that happen again.
As you say.
Now let's just keep
I
an
will.
eye out for the rest of the group.
You go back, I'll follow on shortly.
I won't go back
Whilst-
completely.
Whilst they stepped away, I'm going to turn to Mazdak. Mazdak, I want you to learn from this.
But yeah, I learned from everything.
Then tell me what you have learned from this encounter.
Amaris is not to be trusted.
We already knew that.
Whilst I agree
Yes, but
with you,
I was one of his biggest allies. I thought we had treated him unfairly, and now I see that I was wrong, and that he should be dealt with.
killing
I-
people is
I
not
Will
the route to go down. We have learned that ourselves.
I will concede we
The
should not,
encounter we had with the
perhaps
Dark
shouldn't
Elves.
kill him. Perhaps.
We should not have harmed him. That prompted him to retaliate physically, and I have seen how frail you are. That could have
Look,
easily.
everybody keeps
done
telling me how
severe
frail
damage
I
to
am.
you.
I know exactly how frail I am.
Yes.
I am a wizard. I read
And
books.
you need to stop giving people opportunities to retaliate against you.
I think you need to stop telling me what I should and shouldn't do. I am a wizard. I'm not a soldier. I'm not a fighter like Sasha. I'm not a healer. I'm a wizard. Wizards, we do not take orders from others. We are wizards.
Yes.
We seek knowledge. Some of us seek power. You should be very aware that wizards are very powerful.
Yes. I am very aware that wizards are incredibly powerful, of the devastation that they can wreak when
Exactly.
they think they are in complete control.
So perhaps annoying a wizard is not something we should be doing.
No.
Quite. Excellent.
And perhaps antagonizing one of your members of your party.
I will antagonize.
something you
Look,
shouldn't be doing.
I was trying to help him. Okay? I only tried to help.
I'm sure you were. You
And
are
yet
an
he
intelligent person
tries,
trying to
the
seek,
first thing he
seek a
wants to
solution
do
to a problem.
is to attack me with magic. So,
Yes. And that was reprehensible. He should not have done that.
exactly.
And you
So
should not have returned
I
in
am allowed
kind,
to respond.
Mazdak.
I am allowed to respond.
No.
If somebody hits you with a sword, you are allowed to respond. If somebody hits
Yes.
Sasha with a sword, she is allowed to respond. I am not allowed to respond, apparently. So, is it one
If
rule
someone
for
hits me-
fighters and one rule for wizards? Is that what we do here? Is that the thing? The fighters are allowed to do whatever they
Just checking
want,
a name.
but the wizards are not?
Just checking a name. Hang on.
This
Can't
seems
find it.
incredibly
Yeah, what was
ridiculous.
the name of the Dark Elf Captain Guard lady?
That's
Her
all right.
name Dassery. I know, Mazdak. Dasseru struck me with her sword. I did not retaliate because I could see the doubt in her eyes.
But Salviel did.
Yes. And
So-
I have talked to her on that.
Oh,
But
you've
Salviel's a bitch.
So, you've decided what we can and cannot respond to. Excellent. Just so I know the rules, Bernia. I thought we were friends, but it turns out that we're not friends. You are just taking control of everything and telling people what they can and cannot do. Is this correct? Oh, you're going to sleep. Excellent. Why does nobody here even try to understand anything I actually say? Apart from Thaddeus. And, no, that's not true. Apart from Thaddeus and Kral.
Mazdak,
The rest of you just seem to think that I'm some sort of joke. That I'm here just for your entertainment and amusement. Oh, look at Mazdak, the little frail one. I think some of you need to learn that yes, I am frail, but I have a huge amount of power at my disposal.
Kral's just going to slowly lumber over and he's just going to put a big hand on Mazdak's shoulder. And I'm going to cast a first level Cure Wounds at the same time.
He's casting at you.
I know, but I
it's-
recognise the spell.
And 10 points of healing.
That's me back up to max, baby.
Now, what she's trying to say is that you are incredibly powerful, and you have every right in the world to respond. But whether you should or not, that is the question.
Indeed.
So, he tried to cast magic on you, you countered it. That's where it should have ended.
Well, possibly.
And, well, no, that is where it should have ended. You know that. Because if we just keep escalating and escalating and escalating, where does it stop? Either you're going to end up dead, he's going to end up dead, or you're both dead. Either way, we are lesser for the loss. Now, nobody has to listen to me. My judgment is subject and has been for a while now. But we can keep him in the party and we can keep an eye on him and not trust him. But until we've done what we need to do and we've dealt with the Everburn, he needs to stay with us. If we kill him, where we can draw the Everburn to us and do what we need to do. Think on that, Mazdak.
I
Maybe
will
she's
indeed.
not going the right way about it, but and maybe she's not talking to you in the language you understand, but I know you understand the immense power at your disposal and the destruction that people like you, and to a lesser extent me, can unleash.
Well, I don't think that's a lesser power that you have. I think it's just different.
But there are too many examples in history of things going wrong and incidents like Severial's happening, incidents like what I caused. All of them are immensely powerful wizards seeking more and more power or believing that they had absolute mastery. It's just something to think on, but the long and the short of it is the counterspell is where it should have stopped. But I will always support you. You are strong. People say that you're frail. Yes, physically you are. But mentally, magically, you are a giant.
Well, I appreciate that, Kral.
Everybody's got their skills and everybody's appreciated for what they're here for.
It does, however, feel that sometimes that the sword feature types tend to dismiss the magic users.
A certain amount of brawn gives you a certain amount of arrogance.
I think it affects their brain somewhat.
I won't disagree, but there's
Put
still
it to you this way, Maztek. In all of my life, I have not had to command wizards. I have spent a lot of my time commanding soldiers and armies. I am not used to commanding wizards. And the most terrible thing that has happened to me on a battlefield was done at the hands of a wizard. Perhaps you will understand my concern and reputation around magic.
perhaps you.
I should not have grown short with you. I
I
will certainly go to that. As for why I give orders now and why I try to command, this group is disparate at times and requires leadership.
Then guide and lead. Don't command. We're not soldiers. You're a leader, lead, and guide the group. But you can't treat these people like they're soldiers. They're not soldiers, except for maybe Thaddeus and yourself. We're not used to taking orders. If you want to guide us in a certain way, then guide us. But you need to find a new way to do it. Because simply spouting orders at people is just not going to do it.
I apologize, Berger, for attacking Imarius. I should not have done. I should have just defended myself with the counterspell and left it to that. Kral is correct. But at the same time, I would put it to you that perhaps a little bit more respect for magic users would be nice.
And I'll say this now. Thaddeus needs to stop protecting him with that spell. It's a waste of magic and a waste of time.
I agree.
I do not know for certain. As I say, I do not know magic. I trust in what Thaddeus is doing. But I suggest that we take a few moments, eat our breakfast rations, and then once we have taken the time to fully wake up and order ourselves, we should discuss our plans to find Renee.
Okay.
Right, y'all.
And that, it would seem, is the perfect time to take a break. My word, guys, that was good. Absolutely great.
Just point out,
Fine.
all the people that have attacked Marius, I've probably done the least amount of damage to him.
Possibly, yeah.
What?
You'll have
What?
to up your game.
What a,
Not enough to one-shot him, so...
what a session to be late in and come into that. Brilliant. I love it.
The thing is that you, with what Bernie was saying, you missed the context of her conversation with Saviel.
Well, I was asleep.
I would have missed it anyway. So
Like, yeah.
Starting to think
To
that,
say that,
Sasha and Krauls was quite nice in comparison.
yeah. To say that
Well, you didn't
Bernia
try to
is,
kill each other.
This is very true.
to say
Right.
that Bernia is stressed is an understatement right now.
Right, well, let's take a quick break then, and we'll be right back after these sponsorship messages. and welcome back. We hope you enjoyed your sponsored break. There's no sponsorship, it was just a break.
So, after the tension of the morning, breakfast is available to those who have bought some rations. I don't know. We don't keep track of that shit. This is a survival simulator. But yes, what's the plan?
I mean, Salvia wake up and just sort of notice the tension everywhere, or are we just
Yeah.
oblivious?
You kind of go, oh, that was a good night's sleep. Oh, things look a bit odd.
I was like, why is nobody talking? And the air smells strangely of cast fireball.
Yeah, Carl will literally just lean forward and look at them both. Marius got bored of being questioned, tried to cast a spell on Mazdak and Thaddeus. Mazdak didn't like that, responded. Marius responded again. It kind of kicked off. Vernia got involved. And yep, you're about at the fight.
So how come they didn't just have it out?
Well, to put this bluntly, if they decide to have it out, we would all be dead right now, because I imagine that 2 rather large fireballs would have gone off in this here small cave.
Okay, so we need to get a bigger arena for them. I think it'll help get the tensions out of the system. Maybe magic gets pent up if it's not, released periodically.
So did you kill him and Thaddeus then?
Oh no, Thaddeus took Amaris for a walk, but I've got eyes on it. Don't worry about it.
Yes, I'm back now. Amaris is just over there. He is still over there, right?
I'll probably just saunter back, trying to, not look like my pride's hurting, sort of style it out a bit.
Yeah, Sasha will just be smirking.
No, I think Imarius is smirking because he's like Eldritch Blast damage.
Smirking, not smoking.
Oh, right, sorry, misunderstood.
So, where do we have a plan for today? I think it's today.
Yes, we need to go and find the Queen of the Aberrant.
Well, they told us that the other the other town was to the north. So,
Do we know much about this Queen of the Aberrant?
No.
Is it that she
really.
wanders the surface, though, not in the other town anymore?
True, but we've got a head which is north.
So from us arriving into the dock into Killer Drow City, and all of that going on, and then us now having a long rest, we would assume it's somewhere near morning, daytime. What's the situation on looks of the top side now? Is it still very much like it's grayscale, like it's very much dulled down of light? And
Yeah, with a bit more light, there's a bit more colour there. It's very sort of. There's a sort of. I don't know, the rocks are reddish in hue. It's sort of dusty and dry, sort of almost deserty, which is odd for the latitude that you're at. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a bit more colour, but it's still not a fun place.
distance-wise, we're seeing. Can we see a bit further?
Yeah. Yeah, but all you can see is just that same sort of barren wastes.
I'll just take a look up to the sky and try and gauge north from where the sun is, if we can see any kind of form of that.
Okay. You can pretty comfortably do that. I mean, I think I could do that here. So I think it's fair to assume a person living in this world could.
Yeah.
Are there any critters, creatures, small animals, birds about?
Have a look around.
I will indeed. Would you like me to do a perception check?
That's the have a look around check.
Although what I will say
Wow,
is that
4. I don't even know where I am.
You've just got this fury.
Well, there's definitely not a library anywhere close.
what I will say though is that Renee is Hanumo's champion, and our interaction with our hosts yesterday might have got both of their attention, so in theory she might try to find us.
Indeed.
May send her subjects to do so.
Either way, it should be easier to make contact than it was yesterday.
If she's a queen of aberrant, what kind of things are we looking out for?
Ah, well. Indeed. So, aberrants are strange creatures, malformed. Normally, aberrations are more created than evolved, as it were. So, an aberration would be something misshapen into, or deliberately shaped into something that it didn't start off as. So, for instance, a dog could have been twisted and had extra limbs grown, or an extra head with larger teeth, a bit wider chest, or just 3 tails. It's an aberration.
So, a mutation of sorts.
Well, mutation is a difficult, because it's not really a mutation. It's because a mutation is a natural effect of the cells in the body reproducing in strange ways.
It's more a deviation from the norm.
Yeah, this is more a deliberate interference with those cells, rather than it happening in a natural way, or regressive genes, or.
I assume magic would be involved in this kind of
very
thing.
probably, yes. Yes, probably some kind of necromancy
Chittering
or.
laughter.
Sorry, Bernia, I missed what you said.
Wheezing, chittering laughter. Endless claws and pitch black eyes.
Okay. I think Bernia is
Sounds
broken
like
again.
fun.
Well, not really. Aberrations are generally
Far from it.
vicious, violent, and will probably try to kill us.
I generally try to kill back anything that tries to kill me.
Yes, but you're not actually an well, you could be, I suppose. Depending on if somebody decided to make you in the way that you are.
Thaddeus will quickly look over on Sasha's hands to see if there was an extra finger on any of them, just to make sure.
Yeah, we're now checking to see if Sasha is an aberration.
That's why Sasha keeps counting to 7.
Yeah.
No, you're forgetting the third breast.
And Fiddy, your specialty is
I know, that's sci-fi settings.
not incest checks.
3 boobs. Are you a Martian hooker?
We all remember that film.
So yes, I think that's north this way. So direct route, or
Coming out of your cave to your right, he's pretty north. So that's the way you're heading towards the other city.
yes, I
Sure.
feel like it's much of a we might as well wander until we're found rather than us do the finding.
Yes.
Well, I suspect that Hunumo may have informed Renee, that we are here, as we've just, killed some of his followers.
Who's to say? Perhaps it is a similar situation as Chakotay.
Since aberrantness is from magic, is there any way we can track that? Again, I do not know much about magic, but
The problem is we're trying to track something that's already happened. It's like if you use a spell to, for instance, when I Eldritch Blasted Imarius, you can't now track that because it's already happened.
doesn't magic leave traces?
Well, it
in the air?
does. It does, but all we would be tracing would be the aberrations themselves. We're looking for Renee, not the aberrations. We want to meet as few aberrations as possible.
Well, we should get going, but if we need to rest during the day, Am can make sure that we can rest in peace. I've been working on something, and from the outside, nobody will be able to see us, or shouldn't be able to see us.
Interesting. Wait, is that? I mean, that sounds like, and Mazdak will start reading off spell names, one of which will be Leomund's tiny hut.
Maybe a lesser form of the tiny hut. It's called rope trick.
Oh, yes, I see. That's like a pocket dimension. You climb up, and yes, that's very good. I remember reading.
Not Krell's tiny shell, then.
No.
Just dive into the back of Krell's shell.
And as we are about to set off,
I thought we were already walking, and we were just talking as we go.
Okay. But yeah, as we do that anyway, Thaddeus will put his hand into his pocket, and in his right hand pull out 2 platinum rings. But one, and just kind of look at him, and then grab him, so like in his palm, and tightly cast on them warding bond, as what Kral has suggested he should do. Forward. Need to make a. This is how many times I've done it check, or
Just keep a note.
Well, for the effect to be permanent, the rings need to be prepared in a certain way, with certain gemstones and things, and then you start.
oh, and then sorry, I thought you meant as in the rings. Got you. Sorry, I follow you now. I must have.
It needs the gems there to receive and sort of be the batteries for the spell effectively.
Okay, so Thaddeus has like a bit of a shake as he wobblies with timey-wimey, and that doesn't happen. And it doesn't do that. Okay, cool. Sorry, yeah. The way I interpreted it last week is that you would like cast it on the rings and then inlay the gems, but that makes sense if the gems are there to hold the magic. Then blah blah blah. Yeah. Cool.
So Thaddeus travels through a micro portal and suddenly he's 20 feet back from the rest of you. Bit weird, but he soon catches up.
Well, considering his hand was still in his pocket when he was doing the wibbly wobbly, I thought something else entirely was happening.
Yeah. Yeah, as we're walking, I will say, if the creatures on this land are anything like what I have encountered before, keep your mind sharp. It will. When I faced that, it managed to stop me from moving merely with the sounds that it could make.
So you're saying plug our ears and charge?
Just keep your head on straight.
That was a joke.
Just be aware. Keep your emotions in hand.
Yes.
I can't give you any guarantees, but I'll do what I can.
If you are going to do that, do it as mindlessly as you can.
That I can guarantee.
Okay, so you begin the day travelling. The landscape in which you are traversing it's fine to move across. It's sort of rocky. There are all these sort of plateaus, like you sort of slept in a crevice within one of these plateaus last night. But you see, as you move, the landscape doesn't really meander so much as just as these flat shelves which you have to navigate. But the way in which you're going, it doesn't look like you need to go jump up and down and things. It's more sort of stepping east to west currently. And once or twice you sort of get funneled into this passage between a couple of these shelves, which you'll sort of worry about. In fact, make perception checks. Just a couple of you who are out up front.
Martin, you've got a sort of background hum whenever you activate your mic.
Shall I turn my fan off? Maybe that's it.
Ah, indeed, that was it.
Better. Okay, good. Good to know. I'm just going to have to sit and
Melt.
Right.
bring up a good.
I have a weird question. But seeing as I have celestial blood, am I getting any weird, like, skin prickles from any particular direction when it comes to aberrants?
I don't
Feel free to
think.
tell me no.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a thing.
Okay.
Beans, maybe.
Just let me know
Now-
when you need me to have a panic attack.
Weird question here. Because I speak Celestial, do I get a tingle for any aberrants about?
Oh, you are such a dick. I love you.
To mock someone else's question.
Yeah, Sasha's about to be aberrant all in your face.
Oh, total dick
Just
move.
that-
Brilliant.
Perception from the hawk is 19.
Okay.
19 from me as well.
13 from Bernia.
Okay, so one at ground level, one up top. Yeah, you're keeping a close eye on everything that's around you. You do hear these odd noises off in the background. Some sound like they're a little bit closer, but there doesn't seem to be anything that's converging on you, which in itself may seem a little odd when you think that when the elves first got here all those years ago, they struggled to survive, and yet you've walked for at least a few hours, slept the night, in fact, without actually being ganged up on. But currently, as it stands, there's nothing much going on. Noises is about all that worries you. But you keep going as you're funneled through a passage, a valley between these two plateaus, and then you come out the other side to a nice open stretch, and you keep going for a couple more hours, all the while just hearing these little prickles of sort of odd squeaks and noises off in the distance. Is there anything anyone's doing in this time? Any conversations?
I think we might be all talked out after how emotional this morning was.
Mostly focused on trying to keep my head straight and not
I
break.
think I'm going to.
There'll be a few sort of like whistles and a couple of clicks between Kral and Kez, and you just see sort of Kez just lightly fly across, and then sit down on Bernier's shoulder and sort of just snuggle in next to Bernier's head. And there's sort of like a warmth from Kez because of the Gemity's core.
What does that give Bernia?
Nothing, it's just comfort.
Good to know.
I'm going to sort of side eye at Amarius because I want to sort of see what kind of mood he's in and stuff.
Amaris is sulking, being quiet. Just sort of, yeah. He's trying not to show it, but yeah, he looks a bit pissed off, slash hurt.
Kroll would be at the back of the group, and obviously Scathlock's watching at the front for him. So
Okay.
I assume Bernier's at the front, so I'll be just before Crowell then, near the back. I'll be protecting our rear.
So as you actually, I just wanted to give everyone. I just thought about this because I don't do it often enough, but I'd like to give everyone an inspiration point for their work this morning.
Cool.
That was RP, and I'm here
Does that
for
include
it.
us sleepy girls?
Yeah, I mean, you had your moment with Kroll during your watch. I'm happy just to blanket give everyone a point.
Can I make a quick perception check so I can use the one I've got and then get a new one?
no, you can't. Piss off.
No,
And for
That
that, you
means
lose the
you're-
one that you've already got.
Yeah, on the way, just on the walk, we're all keeping an eye out and everything. I think Thaddeus is just gonna try and just keep looking over towards Amarius and Mazdak, and just try and keep an eye on sort of like the tension, the feeling of the group, just for like the first like part of the journey, I suppose, just to make sure that there's no, it doesn't look like one of them is kind of like sat there with a shaking hand as if they want to cast another spell at the other type thing.
Mazdak's Mazdak's just getting on with the day. He's not worrying about Amarius at all at the minute.
Yeah.
and I think Amarius, as previously described, he's looking a bit sheepish.
Yeah. Picking up on that, then I'd probably have a look for what it's worth around at the ground or anything, for like any tracks, prints, anything like that. What seem to give us a heads up potentially about anything what could be here.
Okay, make a survival check.
Not the best. 12.
There's kind of just this a layer of like red dust along the ground. And even looking behind you, you see the tracks that you've made. That any wind just kind of covers those really quickly.
Just
Yeah.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
no, I was moving on.
I'm just gonna cast Detect Magic. It lasts for 10 minutes and it's 30 feet. So I'm just gonna sort of, as my sort of consciousness expands out towards the 30 feet, just looking for any sort of traces of magic that I don't recognise. Obviously, I know the people I travel with are magical, got bits and pieces, but anything that's not familiar, I want to sort of try and pick up on for the next sort of 10 minutes as we walk.
Okay. Yeah. At the moment, you're not picking it up on anything.
Okay.
As we are going, I'm going to eventually build up the courage to try and just open up my senses a bit to the natural world around me and try and see if I can tell where ahead of us is the least natural.
Where ahead of you is the least natural.
It's kind of like I've got my my what's it called?
Bernier knows how nature should be, so where is nature more warm?
I've got my divining rod up, waiting for it to point somewhere, and then going the opposite direction, as it were, in how I'm treating this.
Okay.
I'm trying to find south on a compass.
Yes, I see. But you are heading north, so that kind of makes it tricky.
I'm just trying to get myself in tune, see if I can hopefully detect one of these nasty, unnatural things coming.
Okay. So, as you continue traveling, you can feel these two plateaus that sit above you start to narrow again and start to follow you in. Bernia, this kind of pricks up, not necessarily the funneling in of these two plateaus, but there's in between them at a certain point up ahead, there's a large mound completely separate from anything else. It's like the plateaus sort of joined and then two sections were taken out, so you end up with a central sort of pillar on the path that you're heading, though the full height of it is slightly lower than the two the other side. That sort of perks up. You haven't seen anything like that around here yet.
There's something strange ahead. Be guarded. I'm just going to keep a hand on the hilt of my sword just as we grow closer to it.
Okay. Are you going to go left around this or to the right? Or split?
I mean, splitting apart is always the best plan, right?
That's a question.
Yeah, I mean, that's why there's a whole song about it.
How wide is this pillar?
So it in itself is maybe 20 feet across, and the two sort of passages either side are maybe 10, 15 feet.
Can we tell how far to get past the pillar?
Yeah, I think it's probably maybe about 30, 40 feet in depth. If you go to the side of where you are, you can kind of see the end of it. So it's not that long, it's just really funneling you in to a specific point.
Is Detect Magic still up at this point? I'm happy to recast it if I need to.
It's still up. What's...
It's 10 minutes. 30 feet.
10 minutes. Okay. So you're not picking up on anything just yet. So yes, were you gonna head one way or the other, or both,
From
or neither?
from a military stand view, does one of them look?
More ambushy than the other.
Yes, that's the way it
Choice
should
in front
be.
of players, let paranoia take over.
100%.
I want to. So what he's saying is he wants to inside check the tunnels.
Nothing
Not the
here.
left. Sorry, it's
It's
not the left
just-
or right of the pillar that we're after. It's the pillar's going to eat us.
This is just a stall tactic. There's nothing here, guys.
Says every DM.
Can I roll to inside check the DM?
This is my conspiracy bid.
Conspiracy bid in action. Can I do that? I mean, if you'd like to check in on the Roll20, I could possibly show you.
Oh,
That's not worrying at all.
That's not concerning.
absolutely not.
We actually don't do this enough, so if this is just a map built to show us the
know.
surrounding, it's going to be fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
for
but the
your
likelihood of that
visual-
happening.
Quite a few dead bodies.
No, you. Oh, that was a mistake. I must have pressed the wrong button. Don't worry about that.
All
What
dead
is the,
bodies and skulls and weapons.
Oh, that's a shield, an abandoned shield that's strangely bright in the landscape.
I assume this is what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the way I was trying to ask that question, which Chaz definitely helped me out there, but they're both the same width. It's not like there is one which is going to funnel us into a definite 300. This is Sparta moment type thing.
I should
Yes,
absolutely
left
not
is
get a
snuggly bunnies, and to the right is an army of orcs.
Okay.
The thing is, it
I'll
could be
take
like
the
that rabbit
orcs.
from Monty Python.
I don't trust the rabbits.
So,
Yeah.
which way do we go? Or should we just take both paths, just in case there's something interesting?
I think sticking together could be the
I
better
mean,
idea
I
here.
can
So
I can message the other party if there's a problem.
I'm going to roll a dice
Or we could all
and
go
start
on my
walking on the right.
I could send my
Yeah.
friend to go and have a look at the other path. Might be safer.
solid rock, by the way, DM. Yeah. No, like caves on the side of these or anything.
It doesn't look like it.
I will follow Salvia.
To be honest, yeah, I trust Savio.
The asshole told me so.
Knew that was coming.
I don't know. The paladin that follows the god of fortune and fate with a 50-50 decision.
No. See, what you need to realise is I don't follow the god of fortune and fate. I follow the god of fate, divination, fortune, and misfortune.
That's a 1 in 4. It'll be fine.
I don't trust any of them, but I will follow them anyway because it's safer to stay as a group.
It's not a bad idea though, Kral, if you send your friend the other side, just in case.
In fairness, you've got a tank going in the front, so it's kind of a good position.
Yeah,
As
so
far as Tasha's concerned, if there's a fight, great. If there's not a fight, great.
Mazdak or Thaddeus, can you can I put my hand on one of your shoulders and you guide me while I do what I need to do and scout the other path?
Certainly, you can on mine.
So the Kral will just put his hand on Thaddeus' shoulder and allow him to guide him, and then he'll go sort of blind and deaf and going up into staff block.
Okay. We should
It's
get you
almost
a
like at times like this where I wish at some point I had like unseen servant so I could stick his shoulder where my shoulder is. Just like
I have unseen servant.
yeah, and Thaddeus will also just go to Mazdak and be like, I mean nothing by this, but did you want to put this on again? And I have like the ring in my hand.
Sure.
Just for extra
yeah,
protection?
Absolutely.
Yes. And we'll put the ring on one of the rings on my finger, one of the rings on Mazdak's, and obviously cast Warding Bond.
And ask, will you marry me?
No,
So
okay.
that again, Chaz, is lasts for an hour. Stay within 60 feet. +1 to AC and saving throws and resistance to all damage.
Cool.
Right. There's a tiny dragon turtle there for you.
Yo.
That's it. The most relevant icon that I had available.
Yep, that's
But we should-
that suits me. A dragon hawk.
Did you say plus
So-
1 to armor, Freddie? Sorry.
Yeah, +1 to armor and +1 to. Let me just double read that. And saving throws.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
It is a really good spell, to be fair.
Yeah. I'd be a fool to allow it to be permanent.
No, you'd
Yeah,
be
but it
cool.
does have one
to allow
massive
it to be
drawback. Yeah, but it does have one massive drawback, which is they don't. They share the damage still, so
that your healer is permanently taking damage.
Yeah.
Okay. So Scathlock is being sent down the left-hand path, fully controlled by a otherwise blind and deaf Thrall. You do have control of that token, Ash, so feel free to move that.
Yep.
As let me just so as the right hand group get round the corner, if you want to move up slightly, I can. There you see
Bandits.
a drow
And needles.
just sort of weary looking, hand on the central pillar. It just looks exhausted. Over on the left hand side, Kral, you see a drow, exhausted, leaning with his hand on the central pillar.
There's a drow leaning. He seems exhausted.
Yes, we see the same. Oh, you can't hear me.
Down the other side.
Just going to get up a little bit closer so I'm within 30 feet. With detect magic, anything picking off this guy?
You are definitely detecting some magic come off this.
Okay.
At this
I'm going to be scanning the hilltops around us, making sure we're not being watched.
Make a perception check. Mazdak, you're picking up transmutation magic from this fella.
All over him, or just an item? It's just him.
Seems to be him.
21. The perception.
Right.
This may not be what it seems. It's a transmutation school of magic. It's not illusory, but it might be something. Something has changed this. There's change happening. I will say to anybody.
Recommendation?
Bernia, as you look around the cliffs, you can't see anything, but you can feel it in your bones. There's something up there watching you.
We're being watched. I can feel it.
Transmutation magic. Yes. I don't.
Which would
I will. I'm
square
going
with
to.
aberration.
I'm going to rapidly tap Kral's hand, the one on my shoulder, as if to get him to come back round to us.
Yeah, he will snap back to himself for a couple of seconds.
Are you with us again, Kral?
I'm here.
So a drow on each side, and Mazdak's picking up transmutation magic from this one.
Does this one look identical to the one on the other side?
Now that you see it, it's the same person.
Somebody's copied themselves. They're identical to the one on the other side.
Bernie's very on edge, and I know it doesn't pick up aberrations, but I'm going to use a divine sense. Any celestial fiends are undead within 60 feet, other than the two behind me.
Not picking up any of those.
How deep are these cliffs? Are they
How deep
climbable?
are these cliffs? Sorry, how do you mean how deep? The height of the plateaus?
Yes. Would it be possible to get up to one of the other ledges?
The shorter one there is maybe 12 feet. Let's keep it simple. 15 feet. So we're all sticking within the fives. Yeah, there's about 15 feet to that shorter ledge, and then a further 15 feet up to the main ledge.
Can I try and get up that first ledge?
Okay.
So sort of climb up this way.
These are pretty steep, but you may be able to use some of those rocks that are around. Just give me an athletics check.
You may as well
You're
have
historically
them
very
at
good at
points.
this.
That thing you're famously good at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I didn't hear what you said there, Ash, sorry.
I said you know, it's not like you've got a friend that could teleport you up there.
It's not like you've got a history of falling off stuff.
Oh, for crying out loud, I haven't rolled anything over single digits today. 9.
These are really smooth. This funnel is just a wind tunnel, and the rock has just been smoothed, and you just can't get purchase to get up.
Has this figure noticed us? Or are they just...
As they do seem to have like turned their head as they're sort of leading to look at you as they're sort of breathing heavily. And as you begin to approach, they say, "Good. I need your help. There is somebody impersonating me. They're trying to kill me."
Is it sunny?
Yeah, it's reasonably bright.
This is a drow.
Yeah.
It's not a drow. The sunshine. They won't go out in the sunshine. Just as a player note.
So, okay, so we know that there's two there. So on the one which is down our path, I personally don't know if this will work, and I don't think Thaddeus will, not knowing too much about aberrations or anything. But is going to cast a spell magic to see if it's the form.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. What level's that cast at?
Base level 3rd.
Third. And what's the rules for?
So choose one creature, object, blah 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 blah. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spell ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends.
Okay. Let me just check. Okay, we'll need to do a check here.
So spellcasting
And
ability.
Yeah.
Which is my
Wisdom. You're a cleric.
my modifier technically, not the spell attack, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
and I'll give where's it gone? Yeah, it's ability check or something. So I'm going to give him a flash of genius.
I don't think I want to need it, but thank you. So with the Flash of Genius, that makes it 23 with +5, yeah?
Yeah.
23.
Okay, so switch that back over. I can still see a 30-foot check from Mazdak.
I don't have that up currently. I can do it again if you like.
Oh, it's gone down. There we go. Yeah, cool. Okay, so yeah, Thaddeus just kind of goes, "I don't trust this," and with the assistance of Kral just going, "You got this, buddy." Suddenly, it just shimmers, and this form that is in drow form just sort of expands, and the arms get longer and sort of touch the ground as this grey, almost bulbous body just sort of emerges out of this drow. And you're left seeing
Soup. Hungry.
Soup. Always.
I had soup.
What think am I on? Get rid of you. Switch back to you.
Soup, a tasty soup.
Oh my god, I saw a Mighty Boosh t-shirt today.
Cool.
It was must.
Carrot and corn. Good job.
So, yeah, this sort of large creature with his big mouth, just sort of, and that's where we'll roll initiative.
Okay, I was going to say, just before we do, can I speak into its mind, because I'm a telepath,
Okay.
and say, we mean you no harm. Please call your mistress. Renee.
Ooh.
And if it
And this
can
is where it comes back with, oh, Renee.
Ooh, Renee.
Well, you're Anzac. I am her butler.
A butler, you say?
It was the butler did it.
Oh,
It's always the butler did it.
Let's have Chaz and Finny. Can you both
Both
roll a d20 for me, please?
a D20.
Yes.
Actually, make it a d100. We don't do enough of those.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And make the results 5 times better.
Or 5 times worse.
Oh, bloody hell. 97.
Cool.
I think that's the
Nice.
highest I've ever rolled on a D100. That's
There's a
amazing.
slight disparity there. 39.
Okay. That was to see sort of the timings of things, because I think if Thaddeus had got there first with the dropping of the spell, I think he'd have just turned an attack. But as Mazdak kind of gets this thought into its brain before the drop polymorph occurs, he hears this word still in drow form, and he sort of turns and looks, and he says towards the group, oh, she already knows you're here. You'll see her soon. Maybe. And that's the point that the image drops. And yeah, that's where we're rolling initiative. But
Okay.
yeah, that feels like an actual stopping point for tonight. So I think
Okay.
we'll just do initiative. Should we do it now, or should we do it at the start of next week?
Do it next
Do it
week
now,
because I
pick
roll
right up.
shit.
I was actually about to say do it now because then we can just jump straight into it next week.
I'm not here next week, so it's not going to be next week. But-
Okay.
2 weeks time, we'll just roll. Yes, let's roll now. We'll get it in the tracker. My word, make a decision.
Copy.
Right.
I was really hoping that I would fail at dispel magic, and you, and with Mazdak doing that, he comes back, or they come back with the policeman from LOLO with a really bad accent. I know not what of this, Renee, you talk about. Oh, that's a really good roll. So,
I rolled really shit.
Well, you were
I
busy
rolled.
discussing with him in his mind.
This is true.
Do I have a DC?
So it's a case of doppelgangers, but I suspect in this case the answer was neither of them. They're both horrible monsters coming to kill us.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think it's specifically us. It's anybody who walks through here.
Well,
No.
Renee.
I fully expect that these people have been sent here to test us. Because let's face it, we are dealing with the god of murder.
Mm.
They're kind of big on murder.
Yeah. I've noticed
You know, it just
that.
seems a bit unfair if that, like, you know, these are the creations. And it's like, in a sense, her babbies, and we're just setting out to kill them.
Yeah, but realistically, sort of, they're putting them in our path because if we can murder our way to them, then we deserve to be there.
I guess.
Murder's murder.
Murder.
I'm just saying, like, if I was a god of, you know, perverted creation, I wouldn't be. Well, no, I probably would be absolutely casual about sending meds to her lover. Never mind.
I love the way you talked your way out of that.
I'm so good at that.
I'm just missing Kral there. You're on a 0 at the moment.
There we go.
18. There we go. Excellent. Cool. Right. Well, yes. That's bang on 10 o'clock. So that seems a good point to stop.
Superb.
Yeah. That was really good fun tonight, guys.
Yes, it
Well
was.
done.
Thank you, Martin.
It really was.
It was really good fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yes. Cheers, guys.
Yes,
Sorry
indeed.
for being late,
It's all right.
or even later than I should have been.
Yeah,
You can't help being new, Fiddy.
this is very true.
No, it's very true.
So,
These things in the order of constants.
as Martin
Sorry.
may have mentioned, that we are not here next week, but we are here on Tuesday for Helleran Rising, getting back into that, the Dwarven city where politics and religion
Shenanigans.
are, you know, playing a part in shaping the Dwarven society. We will see how that turns out on Tuesday. So, until then, if you liked it, fantastic. We love you. You're phenomenally brilliant. If you didn't like it, well, you know what to do. Off you fuck.